Thanks for the likes, the hearts. It's a Demon Slayer character. I would just look up how you spell the name. I'm drawing a Demon Slayer character. How did that scribble get there? Thank you for the like, whoever did that. Thank you very much. I've got 2 likes, thank you. I don't know why, I've run out of not enough space in the eye to do all the... Oh, that'll be okay, it's just got a little bit of a highlight in there, but I can do that later. Okay, let's start inking him in. I was going to speed run him, but I'm not sure if I can. I'll try and do it as fast as I can, the inking in. High technology time. Right, I'm just going to rub out the pencil mark. And I think I will colour this one in, maybe not completely, but I think it needs a bit of colour. Just got to put a piece of paper underneath it, underneath the page, so the colour doesn't run through. I'm just going to move the camera just very briefly, okay? There. Okay. Let's colour him in. He's got really dense black eyebrows. I'm trying to colour in without blocking too much of the picture. Okay. I need to do a little bit dark around his eye because he's actually got like quite thick black around his eyes. That's a bit better. So he's kind of got a very light orange around his eye and then a sort of reddish colour for the middle of his eye. I think I will try this colour. Let's see what it's like. Yeah. I can always darken this if I need to. Let's just put some white highlight in the eye. This will make it look much better. At least I hope it will. Now I need a brown. Does that improve the picture? Not sure. Okay, let's colour his skin in. Oops, the black has run just a little bit, but never mind. I just needed a bit longer to dry, probably. But that's okay, we can cope with that. Not sure about that lighting. Oh, thank you very much, Cirrus. Thank you. Really appreciate that comment. Right, I got to find an orange for his hair. Practice, Cirrus, I promise you. Practice. You know, I've still got a way to go. You know, it's just every day, or as much as you can, just draw, and it does get better. I'm thinking there is red in his hair as well, but I'm thinking I can just go over the top of this golden colour with the red pen, and that will work, which is faster. I like his hair, it's cute. I don't know, but it reminds me of a cat I used to have. Oh, I forgot to colour in his ear, I've just realised. Alright, we're just doing a very sketchy colouring today. Because not in a colouring mood, more in a drawing mood. So in a minute, I think we'll just do another drawing. Anybody has a request, let me know. Missed a bit. Okay. Also, I didn't draw his teeth. Not a problem. That's better. Okay, I'm going to move on to a different picture now, because I don't really want to colour in anymore. Any requests before I choose something? Okay, I think I'm going to do sketches of anime hands because they're quite hard and it'd be good to practice drawing anime hands. Let's have a look. Can I find any good ones to draw? Yeah. Also, I'm going to play some music. I hope that's all right with everybody. Let me just get the music started. I have no idea what this is going to be like. Let's see. I had the headphones plugged in. I couldn't work out why it wasn't working. Okay, so these hands, let's draw them up here. Oh, I don't like that music. Let's change it. Okay, so these hands are drawing holding a staff. Staff needs to be a bit wider. Because obviously the staff is going down here, so it's got to match up. And then the arm is going off here. If that's clear, these are the creases of the clothing. Then we're going to do the other arm on this side, so the hand is at the other angle. You know, we're not looking for perfect hands. They don't have to be perfect. Okay, that finger at the top is a bit fat, so I'm just going to redo that. Because it was just, although this hand is slightly bigger, it's just was too fat, so let's do that again. Sometimes it helps just to do the general shape of the hand. So just this is the fingers going across, and then you've got the hand coming down here. So we've got the basic shape. Then we just want the line of the staff coming down, because this is the continual staff coming down here. Can you see that? So you've got the staff coming all the way down and the hands are gripping out. So then we've got, actually giving it a shape like this really helps. So you've just got the hand coming up and then you've got the finger, the index finger. And you've got the next finger curling around. And you've got the next one, which you really can't see very much of. And then you've got the final finger, the little finger, which is kind of doing all the work in the drawing. There we go. And you've got the sleeve coming across. And then you can draw in some lines on the staff just to show that it's made of wood. Okay, let's find some more hands to draw. I quite like drawing hands, anime hands anyway. Just looking for some good hands to draw. Okay, I've got some new hands to draw. These are in front of a character's face, so let's see if we can. So I'm just going to vaguely draw in the face. There we go. And the face is wearing a hat, so that's the shadow of the hat. This is the brim of the hat. Here are the eyes. You get the picture. Here are the eyes, ears. Right, now we're going to draw the hands in more detail. So they're kind of touching the brim of their hat. So if we just draw the shape in, we've got like the fingers are spanned like this. And then we've got the main part of the hand here. And then we've just got the thumb off to the side. So you can sort of see the shape of the hand and then the arms coming down here. So if you just draw the basic shape of the hand, then it's easier to do the fingers. Just put the nail in. Now they're slightly splayed, the hands. That one's slightly bent, so it's much shorter. But that doesn't look quite right, so we're going to get rid of this one. Redo those two. Sometimes you just have to change things to work for you. And then you've got the thumb here. And then you've got the top going across there. Okay, let's find some more to draw. Here we go. So we've got a sword. So we're just sort of penciling the sword. This is the handle. Okay. So this is the handle of the sword. I don't know what this bit of the sword is actually called, but it's where the handle ends and then the sword's going to begin. But I don't know what the name is. It must have a name. This is the blade. Okay, so you get the picture. And then I'm going to draw the hands holding it. So thank you. I just saw a heart or smiley or something go past. Didn't quite catch it, but thank you. It's always very encouraging. Need a little bit of shading there to sort of like denote where the hand bends. Okay, so there's one. And then you've got the other one. The other hand. Now, he's got a finger going up here. And the hand is kind of spanning the end of it. He's not actually gripping the sword handle with this hand. It's just laid across it with the fingers outstretched, which is interesting. So we've got this finger. I think he's flexing his hand, you know, when you grip something and then you want to flex your hand because you've been gripping tightly. I think that's maybe what it's denoting that he's doing. Let's just rub out a few lines, otherwise it gets a bit confusing for me. Yeah, so he's just flexing his fingers. I actually really like this hand, what he's doing with it. I think it's really good. I think it's because a lot of the time in Demon Slayer, you know, they're doing things that we wouldn't be doing, but, you know, this is just a simple hand flex. That finger's too thin. I need to make it a bit fatter to match the other ones. I just need to neaten that up a bit. And again, there's a little bit of shading here. It shows you that the hand is flexed here at the wrist. Actually, this picture's got like little lines to show shading on the side of the finger, which I think is nice. I think I'm going to find another one now to do. Okay, another one holding a sword. Because, hey, that's what they do in Demon Slayer, they hold swords. Let me just find some space to draw another one. So this one, the sword is going across like this. So if I just draw the lines of the sword. It's always good to sketch things out first of all, you know, just to give yourself some basic ideas of where things are in relation to each other. And then you've got, this is the handle. This is the handle here, so just draw the end of the handle. And then we've got this piece again, which I don't know the name of, where the handle ends and the sword begins. Gosh, what is that called? This one's kind of got these bits that are like a wheel spoke around the handle. Okay. Okay, and then this is the blade. You get the idea. This is the blade, this is the handle. It's got kind of like strapping around it. But some of that be rubbed out in a minute. So, and then his hand is gripping it really quite high. So the first finger is actually hidden a bit behind that piece. And then you've got the next one. The next finger, which is slightly bigger because it's the middle finger. The thing is, you know, with art, you know, if you're not happy with what you've done, just continue, just keep going. It's not the end of the world. Or you can rub out, you can, you know, if you're really not happy with something, you can just have another go. And normally that helps because you've done it once. You've seen what you don't like about what you've done, so you can just give it another go. You know, just enjoy art. Especially if you're, you know, really learning. Just enjoy it. Okay, so that's that one. Right. Let's see if we can find another one. I like that first one the best. So I'll leave it on there while I look for another one. Another hand picture. Okay. Let me just find my other book. I'll be back with you in a minute, guys. Right, so the hands I'm going to draw now are from My Hero Academia. So slightly different style. Okay. Just need to find some space. Maybe just a bit of space down here. So let's start with the basic shape of the hand that we're drawing. So it's kind of like this shape. Is that a trapezium? Can't remember my shapes now. And then you've just got this little bit coming out here, which is going to be the thumb. Just draw it boxy. It doesn't matter if it's boxy. And then this is the wrist going off. So that's the basic shape. And then we're going to start drawing it in as it looks. Okay, that's the thumb. I like that thumb. I really like that thumb. Now, this finger is foreshortened, so it's just, you can see a very tiny bit of the nail. Where it's bent that way. Hopefully that looks obvious as to what's going on there. And then these two are bent down, so you can't see these two fingers because they're bent down behind the hand. Okay, I'm just going to change the music because I don't like that. Let's find some more relaxed music. How about some jazz? See if this is any better. Yeah, I need something a bit calmer. So can you see? This is the index finger, this is the middle finger, and then this, the ring and the little finger, they're bent down so you can't see them. This is the side of the hand going into the wrist, and then you've got the cuff of the shirt. He's this character who's got his hand, he's wearing a shirt. Okay. Have I got any more room to draw another hand? Maybe just a bit down here. So we've got an arm coming down. Now we're going to draw the shape of this hand again. So it's kind of like the thumb's here. You just draw it like a square. Then you've kind of got this triangle of, well, almost like a triangle. You could just do that and it'd be like a triangle. And then you've got the fingers curving round like that. So that's kind of the basic shapes. Now we're just going to put the detail in. So actually, the thumb is that shape, and you've got the nail like that. And then you've got little creases, and then the index finger is kind of folded over. And then you've got the nail on the top. Then the other fingers are just behind this one. Can't see all of them because the little one's hidden behind here. I'm just going to ink that one in to make it a bit clearer because the pencil is a bit dark and black and it's a bit unclear. So let's just ink that in a bit so it's clearer. Because I think it's quite a good one to kind of observe. So this is from the shoulder down. You've got the clothing. And you've got the end of his clothing, cuff. Okay. Then you've got the thumb coming out. I like this thumb. It's a very nice one to draw. In fact, I think I like drawing thumbs the most. I don't know why. Maybe because they're slightly easier than the fingers. Then you've got this one coming over this finger. And you've got a little bit of the nail showing. And then behind that you've got another finger doing the same shape, the nail. And then you've got another one. And you've got the hand coming, but you can't see the little finger. Oops, and you can see this finger. Put some creases in. Okay. So that's a little study of hands. I will draw something now from My Hero Academia, I think. Unless anybody has a request, I'm going to draw a character from My Hero Academia. So I'm just going to move the camera to change the page. So, apologies for 1 minute while I just move the camera. There we go. Oh, it's lovely when you get a lovely fresh page to work on. Right, let's see if we can find a nice character to draw from My Hero Academia. What's the main character called? Is it Deku? Gosh, there's a lot of characters in this book. Oh, there's Bakugo. Maybe I'll try and find Bakugo. He's kind of quite bad, I think. Okay, I'm drawing a scene from there. If the music is annoying, let me know and I'll turn it off. I think it's annoying me a bit. I wanted something more relaxed. Let me just find some more relaxed. I want relaxed jazz. I don't want lively jazz. Okay, we'll see how this goes. I do like his face. It's fun to draw. His nose is a bit high. I've just got to move his nose down. He has a more elegant nose than that, actually, and I think then I'll move his mouth down. Yeah, see, don't be afraid to rub out. Sometimes you have to draw something to see actually how it needs to be drawn. You have to attempt to draw it to work out how it really needs to be drawn. You know, it's all a process. Sometimes I draw characters and I'm really happy with them straight away, but other times it's like, oh, no, that doesn't look right. And you have to look closely at what you've drawn. And, you know, try and work out what would have improved the picture or what would improve the picture. I do love drawing shirt collars. Don't know why. Perhaps it's because I had to wear a school uniform for absolutely years. Don't know. I always think it's nice when schools don't have uniforms. But all the schools I went to had uniforms. Very British thing. Okay, let's just move this over. Okay, the eyes are meant to be big, but they're not meant to be like goldfish bowls. I think maybe they're a bit big. The music stopped, but I think I just leave it stopped. So sometimes, you know, until you get the character's hair in, it doesn't look that much like them. Hi Moonlight. Oh, lovely name. I love that name. The slight problem with the eyes is he's meant to look a little bit naive, but he's not looking naive enough. I'm just trying to work out. I think maybe the eyes are too far apart. That's the problem. The eyes are too far apart. So let's just redo the eyes, because the eyes have got to be just right. You know, it's such a huge feature of a character's face. So let's just get the shape of his face right. He's just got a slightly wide face with just a chin that points down a little bit. His face is actually quite wide at the bottom. Then we got the ear. If we just pencil in the halfway point on the face, then that will help. Sometimes it's good to draw lines in, and you can just, it just helps you basically. So his nose is about here at the halfway point. And then the eyes are actually quite close to the nose. This is looking better, yeah. I'm happier with this. Yeah. Now he's got his eyebrows. Much better. Not perfect, but much better than it was. It's looking more like him. Yeah, the previous eyes were just awful. They were too far apart. They didn't have the right expression. Much happier with that. Now the mouth, it's just very subtle, kind of downwards just slightly. Oh, and of course these very distinctive, I think, are they freckles? Any distinctive feature helps you see who it is. Oh, I really like that. I'm really pleased with that character now. Having been really quite unhappy with him, I'm now very pleased with him. That's the other thing, you know, if something doesn't go right, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing, because, you know, you just try again. Sometimes you can just leave it because you don't want to burn yourself out, keep trying. Other times just try. You might be pleasantly surprised. Like, I'm glad that face didn't work out because it taught me something, and, you know, doing it again and improving it made me feel really good. It's all a learning journey. Nothing wrong with a learning journey. Now, his eyes are actually not quite right. And I think I'm going to redo those now, because now I've done a bit more of the picture, I can see his eyes aren't. I think what it is, if you look, they're not quite level. This one's slightly lower than this one, and that gives the wrong expression on the face. And also, eyes don't tend to be one lower than the other, you know, eyes are symmetrical, unless you're tilting the head, which this isn't. It is looking to the side a bit, but it's not actually tilted, so the eyes should be the same level. So actually, let's just redo that face, putting some guidelines in, because that helps. Okay, so he's looking slightly to the side, so the center point is there. And his nose is about there. Okay, and then the face comes down quite straight, and then it just goes off into the chin. Okay, and then the eyes, just need to draw a straight line. Straightish line. Hi, Sophia. Okay, so that's a straight line for my eyes. The eyes are quite close together. So we've got the eyebrow going off here, which actually I'm drawing in the same place as I did before. That's better shape. That's a much better shape. I'm much happier with that. Yeah, much happier with that. And let's just see if we can keep it the same on the other side. It's difficult because I'm trying not to put my hand across the picture so you can see what I'm doing. But that means I have to draw at a funny angle for me. But that's okay, I can do this. It's not a problem, I realise. Right, I've still made these eyes not quite level. So I'm just going to bring this down a bit. And I'm just going to put a little inner line to bring that up a bit. So can you see I've made it more level just by doing a line inwards here and outwards here. So let's just get these irises right. It's actually very small. Oh, I like that. I like that. And then this one is also just very small. Yeah, I like that too. can see a little bit of his hair. Okay, the nose is a bit longer. That's very important that that nose is a bit longer. That's if I'd left it short, that wouldn't have looked right at all, but just a very slight hint at the nose with a tiny little line that comes in, can you see? And then I don't quite know what his expression of his mouth is. He looks like he might be saying something nastily, I think. But he's not afraid. It's kind of, yeah, I'm happy with that. He's got this big shadow underneath. Just going to put that in. Okay, so that's My Hero Academia. Right, so any requests for any characters from an anime? Or I would choose another My Hero Academia to draw. Or I could draw Miku. I'm not sure if everybody watching would like Miku. What would you like? Would you like more My Hero Academia? Would you like Miku, or would you like more Demon Slayer? Or something else? Or something cute? Do you know, this has all been so random. I think I'll draw something cute now. Might as well just mix it up completely. So I just got to unplug my phone. I hope that didn't shake too much. Right. Oh, I've got 8 likes. Thank you. Shall we draw? That's cute. Okay, we're going to draw a little manga girl's face now. So I always start manga faces, if they're front on, I always just start with a circle. I just go round and round until I've approximated a circle. Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can go round loads of times, it really doesn't matter. There, and then from each side of the circle I just go down at a very slight angle just to get the sides of the face. There we go, and then I bring it in, usually to a fairly pointy chin, meeting in the middle. Let's just draw the middle line. That's the middle line of the face. It is approximate, you know, guys. It's never going to be perfect. We're all about approximation here. Okay. And then the bottom of her eyes would be just about here, where the circle ends. The eyes are quite low on the face. And you just have a tiny little nose, which I just often put in as a tiny triangle. Okay. And then, sort of about halfway down this line, be the top of the eyes, which kind of curve round. Just do one little curve there, making them symmetrical, or trying to make them symmetrical. Doing our best to make them symmetrical. Hi, Love Money. I've got the eyelid. Let's put some eyelashes in. Make her cute with some eyelashes. You're about to go to school? Oh, have a lovely day, Love Money. I hope you have a really good day. Hi, Demon Slayer fan. And then we're going to do her with an open, happy mouth. Just going to do a line here, just going up very slightly at the edges. There. So she's happy. And then some eyebrows. Just little curves. Now, if we just want to widen her face a bit, we can, you know. Sometimes it needs a little bit. I don't know about other people, but I tend to make my manga heads a bit too narrow sometimes. I sometimes have to fill them out as I go along. Then we're going to give her a nice fringe. Just going to like bring it down to a little point. The fringe has got stumpy little points. But you can just play around with this, you know, fringe you can just really play around with. Gosh, I'm hungry, it's nearly lunchtime. In fact, it is lunchtime really. So I have to stop for some lunch in a minute. Let's just make her eyes make a bit more sense. So we're going to put a highlight here and a highlight here. And we're going to have a darker bit for the pupil here. And maybe a bit of highlight down here as well. That'll make more sense when I colour it in. And then she's got two bows. I do love doing bows. So we just do a little oblong shape. Trying to get them sort of equal on both sides. And then we just do that shape. A bit like a triangle, but with rounded. We've rounded the edges, and the pointy bit would be going in here. See what I mean? Let's just move that over a bit. We've got the neck, shoulders. It's going to be wearing a little sweet little top with a rounded neck. Now, with her hair, I think she's got little bunches, but the rest of her hair is also coming down. She's just, you know those little side bunches you can get? She's got little bunches. Yeah, it's one of my favourite hairstyles. Okay, I think her hair is slightly swamping her face. That might improve when I colour her in, but I think maybe I just need to lower her chin slightly, just make it a little bit more, a little bit stronger basically, her chin, because otherwise her hair is overwhelming her face. So we've still got her nice mouth, which I unfortunately just rubbed out. And we just bring it down just a tiny bit more. Okay, let's ink that in. I can hear lunch being made downstairs. It's making me even hungrier. Okay, let's speed run this. Let's try and speed run. It's kind of quite hard to keep the fast pace up. I always like to draw slowly, but it's good to try and draw faster. Get out your comfort zone. That's also something really good to do, you know, if you make yourself draw fast. Because then you can't say, oh, well, I did that badly, because you've got a reason if you do it badly. You can just be like, well, I was speedrunning it. You know? But it's surprising what you can do, even if you're doing it fast. I was thinking this face actually reminds me of one of my favourite YouTubers. It's like a manga version of her. I don't think she'd agree, but yeah, looking at it, I'm just thinking of this YouTuber and thinking, that looks a bit like her. I'm sure only I would be able to see that though. It's probably just my imagination. I would say the name of the YouTuber, but I can't actually remember her name. I think it might be Jessica. So I'm not gatekeeping who my favourite YouTuber is. I can't remember it. I think it's Jessica. Anyway, if you've got a favourite YouTuber, you know, you could mention them in the comments if you fancy it. I always like looking at different YouTubers, ones I haven't discovered. There's so many amazing YouTubers out there. So many brilliant channels. Right. Going to colour her in. I'm going to start with her eyes because I enjoy the eyes the most. Demon Slayer fan, first of all, thank you. Secondly, I'm sure you draw well too, or you can. It's just practice, yeah? But it's very kind of you to say such nice things. Also, it's about finding a style that you really like, you know? So, I think I'm going to draw her eyes blue. But I need a really pale blue. Let me have a look. Okay. Or maybe a pale mauve. Maybe I'll do her eyes mauve, actually. Mauvey blue. Does that look grey? It's meant to be pale mauve. It's the trouble with these pens, I should really test them beforehand, because the lids don't necessarily correspond to what the actual colour is. Actually, sometimes even the name doesn't correspond to what the actual colour is. Okay, let's put something over the top of that. We're going to do a pale pink now, see if that works. Maybe she's going to have pinky mauve eyes. Hi, Arison Spirit. Hi. Hope you've been having a good time. I like this colour on top of the other ones. I think that's nice. This, yeah. Trying to make them look a bit glassy. Maybe I'll get my pencils out and help with the glassy look. You know, there's the kind of glassy skin look. Be nice if you could recreate that, wouldn't it? Glassy eyes and a glassy skin look. I'll have to think about how I could make the skin look glassy. Something I've never tried. Let's just make it a bit darker around where her pupil is. I love putting pencils on top of pens. It's a really nice combination. And where's my white pen? Let's put some highlights in as well. This is just my white gel pen. It's a bit temperamental. Me and my white gel pen, we don't have a very good relationship. Sometimes she doesn't like me and doesn't want to work with me, and other times she does great big huge blobs. So yeah, we kind of don't always get on. But today she's doing quite well for me. Let's get my other white pen out. Okay, where's it gone? We have another white pen. There it is. Okay. I think she needs a bit more white here. Okay. Let's draw her skin in, colour her skin in. Give her some rosy cheeks. Another one of my favourite things to do. I love doing rosy cheeks. I love colouring in the skin, and I love rosy cheeks. I guess when applying makeup, I actually like doing blusher a lot too, so maybe it translates into my drawing, what I like doing in real life. Although I don't really ever wear blusher. Probably should. That's a bit patchy. I should have been a little bit more methodical about my colouring in, but that's okay. Can always go over it. Okay, I'm hoping the rosy cheeks are going to bring it together a bit, make her look cosy and sweet. Again, I'm just using pencil because it's softer. It doesn't give a garish line like the pens do, and for blush, I like to have just a soft, smudgy look. That's so pretty. Yeah, I like that. I really like that. This is when, you know, the joy of doing art, you know, when you do things that you like. It may not be perfect, but you can just really enjoy seeing it evolve, the picture, even if it's not perfect. Okay, one of my next favourite things to do is bows. I love colouring in bows. So we're going to give her mauve to the same as her eyes, I think, because that will enhance her eyes. She's going to have little mauve bows. It's funny because it looks quite dark on camera, but actually in the room with me it's actually quite pale. I don't know how, maybe the camera's distorting it a bit. Maybe the lighting's making it look a bit lighter than it is. Yeah, I love bows. I'm always in danger of putting too many bows in my pictures. I have to try and control myself, not do every picture with bows. Now I'm going to make some white dots with my white pen on the bows. Oh, I've got 10 likes. That's nice. I've got 10 likes. Those white dots showing up. Just about. Yeah. Love that. Gosh, I'm so hungry. Can't wait for supper, for dinner. Or lunch rather. Not dinner, lunch. What do you call it? Middle of the day meal. Now I need to do her mouth, and I kind of think I need to do her teeth. I get very afraid of doing teeth. I'm going to pencil them in. Hi from the UK, Harrison. Yeah, you call it lunch as well. Brilliant. Okay, what colour should I do her hair? Should I do her hair pale pink? Need something that will offset the purple. Maybe I should do her hair light brown maybe, or green. Nope, she's gonna have green hair. I've never done green hair. Yeah, me too, Moonlight. Yeah, teeth are scary. Also, it's like if you, these are here, it's like I was just slightly thicker line, but I'm never quite sure about it. But yeah, I just have to wing it with the teeth. Okay, I do like green and purple together. Oh, okay. I'm glad that you've come back. That's nice. Sorry you didn't sleep well. That happens to me sometimes. Then I have to have a very quiet day. But yeah, it's quite nice to have a lazy day sometimes, isn't it? You've got an indoor fair. What's the indoor fair, if I may ask? You don't have to answer, obviously. Right, I'm just going to finish colouring in this girl, and then I'm going to say goodbye because it will be lunchtime for me. The food should be ready. But it's been really nice having you all watch. And thank you for the likes. Always really appreciate that. Oh, that sounds fun. Yeah. Travelling fair. Enjoy that. I haven't been to a travelling fair in ages. Yeah, do have a really good time. Okay, I'm going to colour the tongue in with pencil because, again, I think it wants to be a softer colour. And then I'm just going to just gradually go over in layers to make it a bit darker near the edge of the mouth. I've discovered that actually just you have to layer pencils. I mean, I used to just press harder, but I'm beginning to, you know, listen to all the tutorials that tell you layering, layering, layering. Don't press hard. It does look much better when I do that, yeah. Okay, her top. I think her top needs to be maybe a dark purple or a dark green. I feel like I need to keep the theme of the green and the purple. I think probably purple. Let's do a dark purple. Okay, maybe that was too dark, never mind. We've started it, so we will finish with dark purple. But that's okay. I'm trying to do straight lines, even lines, so it doesn't go too grainy. With the Copic pens, the really expensive colouring pens, you can be a little bit more, well, less disciplined with them, and they're more forgiving. But with these Ohuhu ones, they're really good pens, but they're a bit less forgiving. So I try to kind of colour things very evenly with them. Sometimes they don't, you know, like I was doing one picture and I wasn't colouring evenly, and somebody was pointing out that it was all kind of grainy. But yeah, I like that choice of colour. She needs a bit of makeup maybe, a little bit of purple eyeshadow, which I would do with pencil. Let's just put a bit of purple eyeshadow in. It doesn't really show up, does it? Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put a few shadows on the bows with the pencil as well, actually. So I'm just going to make it a bit darker here, because that makes it, gives the picture more depth. If I had time, I would do it on the hair as well, but I don't have a lot of time. Layering, yeah. Yeah. Oh look, I'm pressing really hard with the pencil when I should have been layering it. So I'm actually doing it. Never mind. A little bit around the edges, just to give it a bit of depth. Okay. I think that's it for now. I'm going to come back on later, do some more cute drawing, I think, because I haven't done much cute drawing recently, and I love cute drawing. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. I hope you have a really good evening or good rest of day. Hope you have a good lunch. I really appreciate all the likes and the comments, and hopefully see you